is time for your weekly breakdown on the latest in entertainment, sports, pop culture, and all things Milwaukee. This is Nothing But the Truth with Melanie Ricks. Now streaming on 1017 The Truth YouTube with the witty banter, latest trends on social media, and hottest celebrity topics, here is Melanie Ricks.
Get it. Ben, I'm cracking up right now.
Why, bro?
At the title of this live show. We chose violence.
Hey, we had to go that route, man.
I get it. I'm into it. I need to know. What's up, y'all? Welcome to Nothing But the Truth with Melanie Ricks live. Coming at you live from the 3rd Street Market Hall in downtown Milwaukee. They're having trivia night. I love it. I love all of the different things that they do here inside of the Market Hall. Every time I'm here, Ben, is lit. And I'm not just saying that. Like, every time I'm here, it's usually on business. And I need to come here for fun because people be having fun here for real. Shout out to 3rd Street Market Hall. And you know what? Shout out to Benjamin.
It's amazing.
Benjamin. Mr. It's Amazing himself. We're coming at you on a Wednesday. We're doing the show live. This is our 2nd live show.
You been counting?
I've been counting. I don't know if it's that hard to count 1, 2, but
so it was.
not you been counting. No, I just guessed. Hey, speaking of, just real quick, because I've been trying to get you to watch Abbott Elementary.
Yeah.
Shout out to Abbott Elementary. If you watch Abbott Elementary, leave me a comment and let me know on a scale of 1 to 10. And if it's anything but a 10, don't bother leaving me a number, because I'm telling you right now, 10s across the board. I'm not trying to hype it up. That show is it. But you reminded me because there was one scene, I'm not going to say the whole letter because I don't know it by heart, but a kid got sent home because he had ringworm, gross, right? Like you ain't heard of ringworm since you're in elementary.
Yeah, you
right.
Nasty little
It's disgusting.
kid.
But again, it's Abbott Elementary, so they deal with that kind of stuff. But why the mom sent the kid back to school? And she said, whatever teacher she said it to, dear Mr., I think it was Jacob, she was like, I know that's wrong. She said, I'm not the 1 or the 2, so I'll see my child at 3. Like, they say funny things like that where I'm like, for me, it was her even starting it with, I know that's wrong.
Hey, see, that's a black mama for you, though.
Okay, listen.
Black mamas do not play.
Man, they do not play
I'm not
whatsoever.
the 1 or the 2, so you're going to send my child home at 3.
Okay, Ben, dog, how funny is that? I'm telling you, and it was the way he read it, too.
Right.
Oh, man. So, yeah, if y'all are into deadpan humor, if you like The Office, Parks and Rec, Black AF on Netflix is similar. Like, if you just like those shows where it's like a mockumentary, like they talk directly to the camera, I'm telling you right now, and if you like to laugh, you have to watch Abbott Elementary. This is not an ad, but Quinta Brunson, I love you. I've been a fan of her since she was doing BuzzFeed short videos. I'm a really big Quinta Brunson fan, and she did that.
I'm more of a fan of her now.
Are you?
Yeah.
Well, did you know, did you see her work when she was working with BuzzFeed?
My first time seeing her was in Thundercats movie, video, I should say.
Okay.
Do-Rag.
Okay. Mm-hmm. She was funny, right?
Yeah.
She's hilarious.
She's cool.
She's really funny. Mm-hmm. Really, really funny.
Yeah.
But you know what wasn't a laughing matter?
What?
Bobby Portis was back in action. No, just kidding. I mean, we could laugh because it was all the good vibes. The Bucks got a huge win.
Bobby!
Dog. How did y'all feel about the return of Bobby P? And by the way, talk about the drama. Ben, what are the odds? There are no odds. I don't believe in coincidence. But what are the odds, Ben? The last game that Bobby Portis Jr. played prior to the suspension was against the Minnesota Timberwolves. And then who is the first team that he plays in his first game back?
The Timberwolves?
The Timberwolves. Ding, 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 ding.
That's because it was never supposed to kick that man out. That's really what's supposed to happen.
I mean, it's giving full circle. The NBA script just continues to write itself. I'm sorry. You want to talk about reality television? You can't get anything better than the NBA. Also, because this is a live show and this did just happen literally a few minutes ago, shout out to Luka Doncic in his return to Dallas. We got the alerts. I've been looking at all the posts. He got very emotional in his what do they call it? His welcome back video, showing some of his highlights of his time in the Dallas Mavs organization. And I was saying to Benjamin before we got on air here, we were chopping it up for a minute, but I was saying to Benjamin before we got on air here, I mean, he grew up in Dallas. You know what I mean? Like, he was so young in Slovenia when he was playing. This man started playing basketball literally when he was like 14, 15, because it's different there. Child labor laws are different. You can be professional at a very young age in many other countries. I'm talking a professional athlete, of course. Even here, depending on the sport, you can go pro. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, soccer stars can, like, I'm pretty sure you can be a kid playing professional soccer in the States. Regardless, he was very young, and I've always subscribed to the notion that no matter the field, when you reach a certain level of publicity, of fame, like of global recognition, I do believe there's a bit of a mental stunting in your growth. Like, you do tend to stay in that same like mindset. And I'm not saying like there's absolutely no growth, but a lot of studies show that, especially when you think of like, actors and singers and rappers, like people who are celebrities of the traditional sort, as far as like us Americans consider them, they do oftentimes kind of like, they are stunted in their development, whether it's their communications or their personal relations or who they are. And that's why a lot of celebrities like Justin Bieber, unfortunately, they crash out for a little bit, because it's like they're still trying to restore a bit of that youth, a bit of that childhood. Like, they're stuck there because they didn't really get to fulfill that. I feel a similar way about Luka. Luka was so young. He was just a baby. And then you got to think Dallas, it was the first city that he called home here in the States. And obviously we don't know what happened that led up to the trade, but it was shocking. He's probably still in shock. He's probably still, and you got to keep in mind, y'all, homeboy got traded, and then, it was wheels down. Like, it was like, all right, you're on the next flight to LA. Here we go. You got to get back to work immediately. Like, he probably hasn't had time to really digest and process. So my point, for him to go back home for the first time, since that happened 2 months ago, it's a lot. And him getting emotional, him crying, grown men cry, like Ben said. And I really do believe that it probably really hit him in that moment. So shout out to Luka for not being afraid to show his feelings in his return. But speaking of return, Bobby Portis Jr. also returned, and shout out to him.
Bobby.
Yeah, what he said. But it was a really emotional night. I don't see you, by the way, on the screen. Why am I not seeing you?
Because this is your show, and I want the show to be about you.
There you go. Well, I don't want people to think I'm talking to myself. I'm like,
but you do talk to yourself.
I talk to myself all the time. Hey, whether Ben was here or not, this conversation would be the same thing.
Yep, it would definitely be had.
Hey, I've read that intelligent people talk to themselves, and
Very true. That's why I think people should go ahead and talk to themselves a lot more.
Absolutely.
I think you're going to be on this planet with yourself for a very long time. And when you look in the mirror, you should be the realest N-word out there. So, you should definitely talk to yourself so you can have a real conversation.
Actually, you know what? Keep going. Because if I address it, I'm going to make it worse. Keep going.
Well, I'm just saying, yeah, you would make it worse. You would. And now you get to dig in a hole.
Right.
But no, seriously, I think you definitely should talk to yourself, especially, because a lot of times people hold things up, they bottle things up, and never really express those things because they've been told that if you talk to yourself, you're crazy, and they never found other ways to express it. So if you could at least talk to yourself about it, you're already beating some of the problem because you're realizing it at that moment.
Big facts. Now, I want to be very clear. You can also still be crazy and talk to yourself.
That's true. It's very true. But I'd much rather be crazy in my own world than crazy in somebody else's.
Same. No, I talk to myself all the time, though. That's how I organize my thoughts. You know what I'm saying?
I swear to God, bro.
I'm serious.
And that's really what I be on.
For real.
Because sometimes I have some random stream of consciousness that pop in.
Yes.
And it's like, dog, oh, man, if I would have never allowed that idea to pop in my mind right now, then I would have never got it out, would have never organized the thought.
But we talk for a living.
That's true.
You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of makes sense that we talk to ourselves,
Right.
And I don't know about you, gosh, what is the movie called with Jim Carrey when his life is a reality show?
Oh, you're talking
The Truman
about
Show.
Truman Show, yeah.
So I'm kind of embarrassed to say it. I had never seen that movie until about a month ago.
For real?
Yeah, never.
It's all good. Okay.
But when I was a kid, Ben, I promise you, I used to feel like my life was a reality show. So I don't remember ever hearing about or knowing what the Truman Show was.
Right.
But I remember feeling that way. And now, of course, as an adult, I'm like, I must have known something. Because what kid comes up with the concept of reality show, regardless of what it was? I've always been that type where I felt like I was talking to a camera. I know that sounds weird. I've always felt, since I was really young, I've always felt that way, even before reality TV was a thing.
Yeah, I think that's dope, though, to have that kind of perspective and outlook on life.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, it is interesting.
It's like your higher self.
Well, again, I think that is a healthy imagination.
I do have a healthy imagination, but I wasn't imagining yesterday when the Bucks came back from a 24-point deficit. I just want to get into that real quick. No, and you know what? Listen, that's what it was. In the fourth quarter, when I tell y'all it was electric, we came alive. Kevin Porter Jr., I'm just going to say right now, he is him. If you were wondering who him is, just go and look it up in the dictionary, and you'll see KPJ chilling, looking at you like that. Nah, but to say that he was a steal, all I have to say is that was train robbery, armed robbery. Okay, we took that. Yes, we did. Chugga chugga choo choo. KPJ, he's been amazing for us, to say the least. And the guys have just been so warm and receptive to him, so welcoming. Every time you hear anybody talk about him, they talk about his production on the court, but it's just also how great of a human he is and how appreciative he is of this opportunity, because what he is being able to show with the Bucks, he has not been, and he's been him. You know what I'm saying? Dame talked about how he used to watch KPJ in high school play in Portland. And so Dame, and he's not the only one, but like Dame is one of the guys who said, I've been watching that dog since he was 16. You feel me? But he hasn't gotten the opportunity to really show that. He wasn't getting minutes like that when he was with the Clippers. And obviously, it's been with Dame being hurt, and there have been a lot of like different rotations, and you've been seeing different minutes from different guys just with everything that's been going on. He has stepped up and then some, and what we are seeing from him is exactly what I think Bucks fans have been desiring, like just that electricity, that dog.
That fire.
He brings that PJ Tucker in, you feel
that
me?
Fire.
Yes, man. You know what I'm saying? And it ignites you, like you can feel it.
Right.
And he's one of them. Our team as a collective, they're really good about not hanging their heads. And I'm telling you right
Being the
now,
heroes they are.
Yeah, like I always say it's bigger than basketball, Ben. And these guys, like, and I'm not just saying this, like, they inspire me. I have a front row seat. You got to keep that in mind. I'm privy.
Do you even have a seat? You on the court.
Yeah, but I sit down sometimes.
You do?
I do.
Okay.
They give me a chair.
All right, you got it.
But for when I'm not sitting, you're right, I'm standing. But no, like I have a front row seat to the huddle. Like I get to travel. Like I'm very blessed to be so ingratiated, if you will, with their everyday lives. And I'm gonna tell you right now, the Milwaukee Bucks only bring in quality humans. I can tell you that for a fact. They are all quality human beings, for one. But for two, it's the work ethic. It's the effort. It's the, like I said, they're really good about not hanging their heads. It's so easy when you go into the fourth quarter and you down, what was it? It was like 92-70. It was something crazy, dog. And we just went on the most insane run. They did not allow there to be any quit. And a big part of that is making sure you're talking. Ben, we just talked about how, we talk to ourselves. We talk for a living. It's so important because, listen.
That communication is key.
It's key. When you get to the huddle and you're down 20 and you're quiet, that's a defeatist attitude. That's a defeatist, way of being. Like that energy transfer is real. You want to keep talking. You want to keep saying, let's go. We got this. Like, let's keep our heads in it. Hey, big dog, like, let's do that. We got to get some stops. We got to attack. We got to put more effort. We got to be more physical. Whatever that may be, it's important, Ben, because that energy transfer, it's real.
Yeah.
And all it takes is one individual for everybody to feel it.
So, Mel, again, you're on the court. You're being able to see these guys front row and center. Again, you're able to join the huddles. You're able to see what the coach is thinking. You're able to even see what the bench is thinking. what were a few key things that you may have picked up on that they were talking about to get them to motivate each other to be like, hey, we may be down, but we're not out. The game is not over yet. This is fourth quarter, baby, and the clock ain't done yet. You know, what was those conversations about with the Bucks?
So with those, it was one of those things where they were like, listen, we got to win it a possession at a time. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you look at, you know, the totality, you look at the whole picture, and it's almost like you're seeing like this big giant hole you got to climb up. Don't think about all of that. Think about taking it a step. Like, let's look at it like
step by step.
Yeah, where it's a step ladder. You feel me? Like, we're down here in this sinkhole, and you know we're trying to get back up to the top. You just got to take it one step at a time. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to think about that final. We're not there yet. We got some steps in between.
Okay.
And so a lot of that is them taking it possession by possession. You know, let's get a stop on this possession. Okay, bet. We got 2 stops. What can we get 3 stops? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you got to build upon the last thing that you did. And then not only that, I think it's them recognizing, you know, let's say a possession, it was an empty possession, right? It came up, you didn't get any. It's them recognizing, hey, that happened, that's in the past, but now we got to think about what we can do. What is controllable? That's out of our control now. We got to leave that behind. But what can we control?
Right.
And it's about not allowing yourself to say, well, those first, 5 shots didn't go in, so I guess number 6 won't either. No, that's not necessarily true.
Right.
The 6th shot will probably go in, and then the 7th shot and the 8th.
Staying optimistic.
Come on, you got to stay optimistic, and not only that, you got to keep shooting your shot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about hugging married men. You got to keep shooting your shot. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But like real talk, you do.
Though. Yeah, because I mean, honestly, I was about to call you Juice, but honestly, Mel, I think it's one of those things where, you know, that last night's game is a metaphor for life. You know, it's a metaphor for life. And I see y'all on the YouTube chat board right now. Make sure that y'all hit the YouTube chat board so y'all can get y'all voice heard, okay? If y'all got any questions for Melanie Ricks right now.
They're on the YouTube chat board?
They're on the YouTube chat board.
Let me sign in.
Make sure that y'all hit the YouTube chat board. Tell us how y'all feel, what you feeling. Even when it comes down to how the Bucks played last night.
Yes,
you know, first time Bobby has been back in a minute. You know,
since before the All-Star break, bro.
Since before the All-Star break. Make certain that y'all hit the YouTube chat board. Y'all got any questions, let us know something.
Yes.
But with that being said, Mel, for me, it's one of the things that is a metaphor for life, right? Like, you know, because it's not about the destination. It's not about the destination. It is truly about the journey. If the Bucks would have been thinking, oh, man, we down and out, man, and we just trying to come up 24 points, however we possibly can, you know, then it wouldn't have been the right type of mindset. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people out there who are shooting for goals, but they're not thinking about all the other little side quests they have to do to complete before they can get the ultimate goal.
Right.
You know, and I think that's what the Bucks were thinking about last night. They were thinking about how they were going to get to the ultimate goal, but thinking about how to get there was the important piece to that. You know, there's a lot of people out there, especially who you know, our 2K players out there, folks out there playing 2K24 or 2K25, or some might even have the 2K26. I don't know, LeBron James. But if you do, one of the rules in playing that game, and I think this idea has seeped into even how players, NBA athletes do play. But once you're down by 20, most folks is like, oh, you got dubbed. You got dubbed, it's over. I'm finna leave with my head hanging, and that's just that. You know, that's what I'm finna do, you know, but that's not what the Bucks mentality was last night. They may have only had about 10 minutes left, but they were like, you know what? We could come up 24. You know, we can run that. We can run that, and they did it.
Especially in today's NBA. Anything can happen.
Correct. Anything can happen. You know, LeBron James may flop on the court, you know, just to act as if he got hurt. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the Bucks, man. That's why the Bucks is my favorite team. They will always and forever be my favorite team, not just because they got Giannis, or not just because I'm from Wisconsin or anything like that, but because they still show that they still have a hunger for the game. And I don't see that in a lot of different players. I don't see that in a lot of people anymore. You know, I'm the type of person that I admire your hunger. Like, if you say you want something, what are you really willing to do to go that route? You know, what are you really willing? Can you go the distance? You know, one of my favorite movies as a child that actually, as I grew up, I realized had a big impact on me, but it's actually the movie Hercules, the Disney movie.
Oh.
You know,
Zero to Hero.
Yeah, Zero to Hero. You know, because I feel like that's somewhat of my story. You know, like, can you truly go the distance? You know, I was about to tear up for a moment, but I'm not about to do that.
That's one of those movies.
Well, it really is because in the movie, basically Hercules finds out that he is Zeus' son. He is a son of a god. Like he's like, dang, like I'm a son of a god for real. Dang, can I actually fill his shoes though? Like, can I actually make my journey mean something, worth the while, you know? And all he went on to go say, Hercules' idea of even going on the journey or starting this destination route or whatever, is like, you know what? And his trainer or coach, Phil, who was a half man, half goat, but he's like, you know, ultimately, I just want somebody to be put up in the rafters, put up in the stars one day, and I just want to look up and say, man, that's Phil's boy. You know what I'm saying? So, like, now, you know, here I am doing radio and stuff, and, you know, my father passed away back in 2023. His anniversary is coming up, you know, and he wasn't able to see me get this far and doing radio. However, radio was his dream. So I remember going to Botanas, and I'm getting some tacos with Nothin juice and stuff, but a few of my dad's friends were there. They were there, and they was like, hey, stop, man, stop, what's going on? And I'm like, oh, hey, how you doing or whatever. He's like, hey, man, you hookster's kid, huh? And I'm like, yeah, that's what they called him at his job and stuff. They called him Hookster. And they was like, yeah, you Hookster's boy. So I got that same moment from like the Hercules thing. Like, man, I am Ronnie Hooks' son.
Period.
You know, and so now they see me on the TV screens and stuff, and I know my dad is somewhere out there super proud. You know, like, dang, that really is my boy out there doing that. You know, so, but with that being said, my thing is always like, again, like, how hungry are you to actually obtain your goals? You know, a lot of people get sidetracked, whether it may be doubt, whether it may be fear. Maybe it's not even not optimistic enough for their future. You know, and the Bucks could have did that last night.
Easily.
They could have been like, oh man, maybe Bobby is a bad luck charm. Maybe Bobby this, maybe Bobby that. They could have all those ideas, but they didn't, and I appreciate that about the Bucks, man, because it's not over till it's over. It ain't over till the fat lady sings, y'all.
That part. No, I mean, Ben, you preaching. Go ahead, then, because I do agree with you. Like, it's not over until it's over, and it oftentimes that's part of the journey, if you will, because, you know, it's not going to be easy. I think a lot of people assume, you know, those who reach the mountaintop, and, you know, those who find success, it's an easy pathway. But to, you know, cite Abbott Elementary again, and only bringing it up because it's relevant. One of the main characters, Janine Teague, something that is so valuable about what she brings to that teaching staff is she's able to take a terrible predicament and bring something really great out of it. And something that they said in that show was anybody can perform well when the circumstances are perfect. It's about how you perform under pressure when things are imperfect. It's about,
and I love the pressure.
You feel me?
I love the pressure.
But not everybody does. Not everybody responds.
Some folks don't fold under the pressure.
But the thing is, though, that's why I love sports, and I love that you brought the Bucks into it, because they really are inspiring. When you really are watching their post-game interviews and just, you know, even following them on social media and understanding the work that these athletes put in and day out, it's way more than people realize. Giannis Antetokounmpo, he was named the Eastern Conference Player of the Week, and he had his third straight triple-double last night. This man conditions like no other. And I'm telling you right now, his routine, it does not matter the day. It don't matter what child is being born. Shout out to Giannis and Mariah. Congratulations on number 4.
Another one.
Period. But his routine doesn't switch up. And, you know, he's one of the best, if not the best, to play the game. And you would think he's good now. He's been in the league for 12 years. You know, he's had double MVPs. You know, he's had all these other accolades, most improved defensive player, a championship, the NBA Cup. It's easy to now coast. And this man is going harder than he's ever gone. This man is playing like he got a family to feed, but like I'm talking families to feed. Like this man is playing as if he's got pennies in his bank account and he's trying to earn a contract. You feel me? Like
I love it.
I love it too, and it's amazing to see. And it's because he understands it's not going to be given to you. It's not going to be handed to you. You got to go get it. You got to go take it. You know, and it is inspiring. You're absolutely right. And it's a beautiful thing that sports is yet another reminder of that. And so, that being said, I think that for anybody out there, whoever feels like, you know, they're millionaires or they're this or that, blah, 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 they earned that. They worked hard to get there. What did you think I was going to transition into? Because I do want to talk about the LeBron doll.
I thought you were going to transition into a man. That's all.
Into married men. Oh, we're going to talk about LeBron's married, so we'll get there. Don't worry, the transition is coming. Oh, don't worry, Ben. It's a coming. Before we get there.
See you start taking them pills, I'm going to start being worried, bro.
What pills?
For your transition. You could be a trans man.
Why does he always have to go there?
My name is Melvin.
All I want to do is have a nice, fun, light-spirited show, and then Ben just has to be a Gemini every time. He can't help it, just so you know. Ben cannot help it. I know you can't. Because why, Ben?
Why what?
It took me a long time to understand what you were... I had no idea what you were saying. Why?
Truth Nation understood.
I know they understood, but why, Ben? Why?
I mean,
let me be me.
Well, I am letting you be you.
No, you're not.
You can be you, whatever you want to be.
And this is what I want to be. You know I love to be a lovely, beautiful, feminine woman. So why?
And you still going to transition, though.
No. Yeah, I'm going to transition this conversation into talking about LeBron being a Ken doll. There's your transition.
There you go.
Hey, have y'all seen, speaking of athletes and transitioning, have you seen that Barbie Mattel, they are releasing for the first time ever an NBA-inspired Ken doll?
Hey.
And guess who's going to be the first one? Sir LeBron James, a.k.a. King James, a.k.a. Bronny's dad. But I want to know, and Bryce's, and Zuri's, I want to know, though, all the fellas out there, and be honest, how many of y'all are going to go cop? I'm saying, how many of y'all are going to go on the wait list? How many of y'all are going to go scalp? How many of y'all are going to be on Mattel.creations.com? Because, yes, I know the website. Because, yes, I do purchase Barbie dolls still. I have the Aaliyah collector's item Barbie doll. So cute.
Put that out there.
I was going to bring it. Decided not to. Because, you know, it's what do I want to say? It's one of those special, you know, mementos to me. She doesn't leave where I store her. No, I'm just playing. She's literally just like sitting on like a beautiful shelf, but it's just so cute. I left her there.
I was going to say, you probably only bring her out when you were ready to rock the boat.
You feel me? I see what you did there.
Have her watch.
Yeah, for sure. I'm trying to think of another Aaliyah song. You know what, Ben? Your love is 1 in a million. Okay, I'm not going to do it. Your love is 1 in a million, but this not good. It was bad. I'll take that. I'm going to hold this L. Here it is. It's in the pocket. Let's move on. Are you going to buy one of those LeBron Ken dolls? Because I am, but I'm a woman. I need to know which men out there, and I'm not being funny because I love this. I want to be very clear. I love the idea of men lining up to buy Barbie dolls. Are you going to go buy this Ken doll?
Yes.
Yeah, you are.
I'm buying this Ken doll, man. I'm buying LeBron James Barbie doll. Because ultimately, look, I'm the type of person that I can see things going up in value in the future. So, you know, I don't want to put anything morbid out there. But I will say when LeBron James does meet his time, that LeBron James Barbie doll is finna go up. So I'm grabbing that thing, and I'm gonna keep it in the box and everything.
So you're gonna buy it so that you can resell it at some point.
100,000%.
Well, at some point, oh Lord, Ben, you don't even have to go there because it doesn't have to be after he dies. It could just be.
I got a few things just waiting for when people die.
See, this is the thing about Geminis. This is how they think.
Honest, y'all.
But it's him talking about transition. Now he's talking about people dying, which is still a transition, by the way. Ben. Can you just I
still want the Donald Trump gold shoes. You know the gold shoes that Donald Trump had brought? Like, I want to buy just a pair. I don't care what size. I just want a pair. The man is he's going to meet his untimely demise sooner than later. You know, and I want to be prepared for it. This is a U.S. president who has a shoe. Obama don't even got shoes, okay?
Yes, Ben, now you know dang well Obama got shoes.
Not no Nike deal or nothing like that.
Trump doesn't have a Nike deal either.
But he dropped the shoe though, and it's all
But
gold.
it's not Nike.
So LeBron James dropping a Barbie doll with his face on there?
That's actually Mattel. I don't know who made the Donald shoes. It wasn't Nike, I can tell you that much.
You're right. Donald Trump found somebody who can make him some shoes.
Exactly.
Okay? That's what happened. But all I'm saying is he's a U.S. president who has shoes. Mind you, I just want to throw this out there, okay? When I went down to the RNC and they had all the presidential stuff happening over in the Bayard Center. At the Bayard Center, they had a display. They had a display of president's shoes, like shoes they actually wore. So I know for a fact the shoes that Donald Trump sold are going to be worth something a lot more one day.
That's like saying you're going to go buy some K-Swiss that Ronald Reagan wore. Like, who cares?
Bro, them things, Ronald Reagan wore them K-Swiss.
Ronald Reagan is kind of low-key part of the reason why we're in the situation we're in right now.
Well,
Just saying.
I would say a lot of the reason.
I know.
A lot of the reason why.
He's a lot of the reason why black men were locked up.
Yep.
He's a lot. I mean, I'm just saying, we're not going to go there. This is not a political show.
Hey.
But my point is, just because a president wore doesn't mean, unless you're selling it to, MAGA and co., that's a little different.
Hey, somebody going to buy.
But I'm going to tell you right now, if somebody gave me, and I'm not trying to be mean, but if somebody handed me a pair of his shoes for free, I would throw them in the lake. I would, excuse me.
Give them to me.
No,
One man's trash is another man's treasure.
Those are, Anyway.
Give them, because I don't necessarily support. I don't support, but I see opportunity where there's opportunity. Again, with this LeBron James, Mattel, Barbie doll, I see opportunity. Am I going to play with the Barbie doll? I'm not going to
play with it either.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it in this box. Because the first one of my little nieces or nephews or whomever decides to play with that thing or opens it up, they getting belt to ass. And I'm not going to lie. Okay, Uncle Ben finna be Uncle Benny that day because I'm gonna be so upset that y'all broke my LeBron James Barbie doll up out of this package. Yeah, I'm gonna be upset, man.
Uncle Ben gonna be Uncle Ben in this.
Yeah.
That's funny. I don't want to talk about politics anymore. Let's transition to talking about married men. So LeBron's married. If I saw LeBron out in public and it was on some like, "Hey, Bron," and he was like, "Hey, Mel," I would give him a hug because I greet everyone with a hug. I'm just that way. But I saw a social media post a few days ago of J. Cole, and I remember this moment at the All-Star game. This was actually it was either the All-Star game or just a Lakers game. I don't remember, but J. Cole went up to Dwayne Wade and he dapped him, and then he dapped Gabrielle Union, and it was really funny because when she did it, afterwards, she kind of gave him a nod like, all right. Because you could tell.
That was that real N-word stuff right there.
Dog, it was really funny. But the social media post I saw, it was like a collection of clips. Yes, this is live. Wait, why? Did you delete their post, their comment? No, maybe they can delete it themselves. I don't know. Oh, you can remove it. Yeah, this is live, you guys. We're live right now. So if you comment, it's live. Anyway, the post was like a collection of like different times that J. Cole like dabbed, like apparently he doesn't hug married women. And I thought that was so fast because all the comments were like, he's so respectful and da-da-da. I mean, he is from North Carolina, so he got a little bit of Southern hospitality in him.
Fayetteville different.
You feel me? But I want to know from y'all, like straight up, what you mean, why is it live? You know what? This is Israel. Israel, you're not going to distract me today.
You think this
I'm going to tell you this one time, and I'm going to tell you one time only. It's live because we want to be Israel. What do you mean, why is it live? Why are you live? Why are you live?
Hey,
No,
shout out to you, Israel, man.
No, shout out to Israel. I'm just playing with you.
No, I appreciate you so much, Israel.
Of course, I do too. Real talk, though, to answer his question, we just want to go live sometimes. That's all. Like, there's no particular reason. So
talk to these folks for real.
Yeah, and they not used to it. Israel, don't call. It's not one of those shows. No, I'm done with Israel. Tell him we're not answering the phone right now. Let me get back on track, okay? So, like I was saying, Jermaine Cole does not hug married women. And I was like, thinking about that. I'm like, I hug everybody. Like, there's been a lot of men that I've, in front of their wives, by the way, because I'm innocent. Like, I'm not doing it to be sneaky or shady. Like, I'm just not that way. I would never intentionally do something to, upset a marriage or like disrupt any, type of harmony, if you will. Nor would I ever like just try to be funny like that. Like, that's weird and disrespectful. But that being said, is it disrespectful for me to like hug married men? Because I've never thought about it. And Ben was saying like, I mean, maybe it's a little bit different like for a man to hug a married woman. But it's got me thinking, like, should I stop hugging married men? Like, I'm serious. I'm not married, so I don't know. And I'm trying to put myself in the place of a married woman, and I gotta keep it a buck. I've never thought about it. Like, I've never thought to myself, like, oh, I wouldn't want somebody hugging my husband. I just never thought about it. So, Benjamin, I need to ask you, like, is it disrespectful to hug a married person?
I don't know, Mel. It makes me think.
No, I don't want to talk to Israel.
Well, it's not Israel.
Who is it?
It's somebody that you actually would like to talk to.
All right, go ahead.
Okay,
man.
you know, I'm producing for you, so I'm screening these calls, but
All right.
it makes me think you've never thought about that, Mel.
I've never.
Because the PP you've been getting ain't that good. All right, that's what it makes me think.
Man.
But call in and text the Truth Nation at 833-212.
No, that's not why. No.
Let's go to the phone line real quick.
What are you talking about? That doesn't even make sense. Since when do we take calls during this show?
Hey, we're live now. This is our second one. Let's go.
I can't. Who is this?
I hope it comes through. Let's see. Can you hear him?
No, I don't hear him.
Eastside Corey.
Oh, boy.
Eastside Corey, you there?
Eastside. Oh, I miss him. I don't hear him.
Dang, it's something you got to press on your end.
On my end?
Yeah, but not necessarily on the phone.
Is there a speaker?
Yeah, on your board, is there a board apps thing?
Yeah. So what do I host program?
Hit that real quick.
Because I don't hear you anymore.
Go down the line. Go down the line real quick.
Okay. I don't hear you.
Boop, boop, boop.
Oh.
You got him?
Not that one. Oh, that was the radio.
Dang.
Nope.
Well,
I don't.
I tried Eastside.
Sorry, Eastside.
There's a way to get them on.
No,
though.
there isn't.
No, there is. We used to take calls when me and Carrie used to do our podcast.
When y'all, oh really?
Yep, we used to take calls. Eastside.
Then what button is it? I went down all of them.
It's like something. I mean, honestly, forget it. How about we doing this live? Here, let me come over there really quick.
I bet. Well, I'm gonna keep talking while don't worry, I will, because this is interesting. No, real talk though. Let me know in the comments. Do y'all think it's inappropriate to hug someone of the opposite sex who's married? Again, I hug married men all the time, both in front of their spouse and not. My hugs, I want to be very clear. Can you hug me real quick, Ben, so they can see this? It's like you feel me? It's just like a little boop, boop, little boop, boop. Like I'm like a love tap kind of person because I want people to boop, boop. But that's it. Like, it's not like I'm like, hi, how you doing? Like, I don't do all that. So I want to know, and keep me in the loop on if y'all agree with it or not. I need homeboy to stop deleting his comments. But whatever, it's fine. But I am curious, real talk, for those who are married, do you think it's inappropriate for you to have a spouse that hugs other people, namely single people? Now, again, I do think that it's more of a Jermaine Cole Southern hospitality, he's just being polite kind of a thing. But is that a thing? I have a feeling I'm going to be married within the next, 2-3 years. I think I'll be married soon. So I'll probably be able to come back and let y'all know how I feel about this. But is it like a respect thing? Is it because, because they were saying J. Cole, he's got a situation where he's on lock. Therefore, because he's on lock, that's why he doesn't hug other people's wives. It's less about, it's less about them and more about him. Like, it's more about his situation, and that's why. Ben, what is your opinion?
Hey, I think you need to live by the rules of your relationship.
I agree.
Because everybody's relationship is different now.
Yes.
I was listening, and sorry, Eastside, we can't even get you.
You know
on,
what?
bro. I was trying to.
This is how you should have done it. You should have put the phone up, the receiver up to there. That's what I thought you were gonna do.
Hold up. Maybe I might be able to do that. Can you take them off of your line over there?
Put off air?
Yeah. There we go. Okay.
And then just put the receiver up to the microphone.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. Okay. Whatever. Anyway, I do remember seeing a video clip that I was very interested in.
Eastside, can you hear me?
Eastside, you there?
Eastside, can you hear me? Okay. Tell him to comment on YouTube.
It's all good.
We're not meant to take calls on this show.
We're really not meant to, but it is a possibility. I just don't know the exact button I need to hit. We got like millions of them up over here.
Ben.
But with that being said, I do remember seeing a clip of LL Cool J's wife, right? LL Cool J's wife talking about her struggles in between marrying a sex symbol. Right?
Oh.
Right? Because it's LL Cool J, right?
I mean, ladies love.
Ladies love Cool James, right? Like, that's the actual fact, you know? He's muscle-bound. He's a light-skinned Negro,
Hey, but, can you really actually be upset when, that's what made him money? being a sex symbol.
And see, that's the thing that she had to kind of battle with, because she's like, when I was in my younger years, I used to always be on LL Cool J's ass, so to speak.
So she was not married to him in the early years.
No, she was married to him basically since like 1991 or 1990.
But he was LL Cool J before then.
Yeah, he was LL Cool J before, but they were still even just dating then. So LL Cool J, his entire career has actually been in a relationship.
Good for him. And you would never know it.
We would have never known that, right? So she knew that she had to play a specific position, but she said it took for her to mature, to understand, like, this is the position I need to play. You know, because ultimately, he is the breadwinner. We out here making millions of dollars. Am I really going to try to, cause an argument every time some woman out there wants to take a picture with LL Cool J? Obviously, she's a fan of him, and it kind of keeps the bread going, right? So it's one of these things where, whatever the rules is on y'all relationship, it's up to y'all to talk about, debate about, and figure it out. Because if you're going to marry somebody who is in the industry, whether it may be entertainment or in sports, whatever it may have you need to understand the type of lifestyle that man is going to live. And of course, there's going to be different fans, male or female, that's going to run up and want to take a picture with this gentleman. Now, on a woman's end, it's one of them things where, are you emotionally secure enough in your relationship to allow that to happen?
Right.
And if not, maybe you need to step aside and let somebody else, take care of that, because you're not fit for it. However, are you willing to grow? And vice versa, right? Because there's men who date Hollywood women, right? Women who have these high profile positions. As a man, are you secure enough for some fan to run up to your girl, whether it be male or female, take pictures with them? Because sometimes that can cause a little bit of animosity. Sometimes people feel like, why are you getting all the spotlight? Why are people treating you this way?
Think about it, Ben. Like actors, they have to kiss and they have to have like sex scenes. When I was a senior in high school, I had a boyfriend, and I was.
You had a boyfriend? Ew,
boys. No, but I was the lead in our high school musical my senior year, and I had to kiss somebody.
What was your role?
I was Maria. I was Maria in The Sound of Music.
Okay. Dope.
Yeah. So, but I had to kiss the dad, right? I know. Don't get me started. It was a kid. I wasn't kissing a literal dad.
Yeah.
To be very clear, we're both children.
I don't know how schools get down these days.
Jesus. But we were both kids. He was a junior. I was a senior.
Okay.
But my boyfriend came to every show.
Yeah.
And imagine him in high school sitting in the audience watching me kiss this dude, and like, he didn't trip. Let's be honest. I mean, he knew it wasn't, But like, I'm gonna be very honest with you. I think about Usher and his sexy shows. Ain't no way I couldn't be married to Usher. But I know that about myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not that I'm not secure enough. I'm just not about to watch my man entertain a woman, even for money. Because that's me. I can't do that. I would not be okay with it. I know that about myself. That's all right. It's not that I'm insecure. I just choose not to watch that. I don't want that. Like, if Usher proposed to me, I would say, no, Usher Raymond, I can't do that. Not until you quit your Vegas residency.
Damn.
And then he would probably walk away from me, because guess what? This man is making millions, and I get it.
Right.
But I would not be able to handle that. I would not want that.
But then you end up losing out on the man of your dreams just because
it's not the man of my dreams.
Well, I'm just saying, if it was, again, when I relate this conversation back to LL Cool J's wife, right? She's well taken care of and all these other things, but, she had to put up with the fact that, again, a lot of women want to sleep with LL Cool J. So like she said, she used to throw tirades and tyrants and all these other things.
But she chose that because that's the man that she loves.
She loves him.
I don't think the man I love is going to be a man that gets sexy for other women. I just don't. I don't think so.
But see, that's the thing, though. LL Cool J isn't getting sexy for other women.
Yes, he is.
You think so?
Yes.
I don't believe that.
I'm other women, Ben.
Okay. I think that some people innately have some good physical features. Right, there's some good physical features that people find attractive, right? So is it my fault that I look this good? No. You know, I'm actually using this to, you know, supply us a good lifestyle. Now, what comes with this is what comes with it. And hopefully you're mature enough and we're good enough and in our relationship for this to happen. Because if it doesn't happen, then we end up, you know, being kicked out of Hollywood, or, you know, we just have regular jobs, or you just want a regular life, then maybe you should be with a regular guy. You know, same thing for dudes who can't stand to be with a woman who's out there like that. You know, can't put up with a Halle Berry. Like, if you can't put up with that kind of that status of a woman, then maybe you need to, you know, take a back seat, man, because she's on a higher level and this is what her lifestyle acquires.
I think that's why a lot of Hollywood relationships end, because you're right. I think more often than not, you get two people who, you know, they're together when they're in a certain place in life. And then, you know, who's a perfect example of it? Chris Pratt and Anna Faris.
Okay.
She was with him shooting in the gym. You feel me?
Right.
And then fast forward, this man become a Hollywood, you know, mega star.
Right. Avengers.
Come on now, literally. And then all of a sudden, he's dating John F. Kennedy's niece's daughter. I mean, I'm just saying, you know, and I think
there's levels to it.
There's levels to it, bro. And their situation, they're fine now. That situation was real shaky. Like, I did not appreciate the way he did his ex to get with the new one.
Right.
Regardless, because there are children involved. We're not going to go there. But my point is, I think you get with somebody and they're a certain individual, and then, you know, they reach a certain level of success, or, you know, they enter a new chapter in their life, and you're not always meant to go into that next chapter with them. And that can be a really tough thing. And so you do have to take the good with the bad if that's your person.
Right.
But it's like, how much should you have to put up with for the sake of that individual? And that's a personal question. That's not something I can just ask everyone.
And again, that's where I believe there has to be boundaries, right? There has to be some kind of
some people don't have boundaries when it comes to making money.
Yeah, and
you
some
feel
people
me?
don't. Like you know, Snoop Dogg, for instance, right? He been married to his girl, Shantae, since the beginning of his celebrity, right? However, he decided to dibble and dabble, and he started to make porn movies and became a pimp and disrespected the hell out of his wife. Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg, he did all these types of things, right? And that's a writer. She's a writer. She is, and the only reason she said she allowed it is because she was actually used to that lifestyle from seeing her dad be a pimp. You know, so it's one of them things that, like, seeing how
he chose the right one. Then
he definitely did choose the right one, because I really don't know many women who would put up with that.
No, very few.
You know, but at the same time, it's just one of them ideas where when you're messing with high profile people, whether it may be a relationship or even just an affiliation,
he wasn't high profile when she got with him.
True, he was just Calvin Brodus.
But ain't that? Do you feel bad for those people who get with you when you're nobody and then you become somebody and you change and they just have to deal with it? Like, I feel a way about that for some reason, Ben. It's like, dang. So, like, I helped you. Kevin Hart, perfect example.
That's true.
Kevin Hart and his ex, who I'm Tori Hart.
Mm-hmm. She still got his last name.
She do. But, like, I don't even want to go there, but we know his past. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
We know his past, right? She was supposed to be the one coming up, and then he started to come up, and she said she put all of her energy into him because he was starting to rise.
Right.
Look at what he did to her.
True.
You feel me?
It's true.
And so, and I know that that's not necessarily about hugging a married man, but it does bring us to a full circle in that I think that marriage, people do have their boundaries, but oftentimes they don't. And what are you supposed to do when you're the spouse that's just like sitting there in the dust, like, it was nice knowing you, I guess. I mean, really, though. So it kind of does go back to what we were saying about whether or not it's appropriate to hug a married person. But again, I think that every couple, every situation is a little bit different. But it's a valid thing to think about because it starts with a hug. And then it keeps going from there.
Drugs.
Especially when not drugs, drugs. Dog, he's such a Gemini. Somebody get him. Get your friend.
All I'm saying though is, Mel, because I see your point. And ultimately, I think.
Stop waiting. I'm so used to responding to him. He said, whose validation do you need?
And see, I was going to hit on that, though.
I only need my husband's validation.
Well, and it's not necessarily about you. Like, think about that person in that position, whether it may be a J. Cole, a LL Cool J, or Nicki Minaj, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
They have to encounter this newfound fame, and they don't even fully know themselves at this level yet.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So now they being hit over the head with so many different opportunities.
And they got yes men around them.
They got plenty of yes men around them, people feeding their ego.
Yep.
So, it's one of them things where, sure, I'm certain a lot of them folks thought, we gonna be together from the ground up.
Yep.
You was with me in the mud, we finna rise up together and all this stuff, and I think that's a beautiful story. However, is that person, whether, again, like I said, a J. Cole, a Nicki Minaj, LeBron James,
and Savannah, yep.
Yeah, are they, enough for themselves yet? You know what I'm saying? Because I see, and I forget about being a celebrity. I see a lot of people who, even just regular people, right? They get into, they've been married their whole entire 20s, the decade of their 20s or whatever. They're married that whole entire time. But then they get into their 30s, and it's like, oh, dang, I missed out on getting this, or I missed out on getting that. So I got to go back and relive that.
And I got to be honest with you, Ben. I'm not trying to be funny. I don't want to talk about any rumors. I do not believe in monogamy from high school to death. Yeah. I don't. Okay. I don't believe that you should only be with one person for that long. Yeah. I don't. I really don't.
Why not?
Sorry. I think you gotta taste different fruits to see which one you like the most.
What fruit you like? Bananas, cucumbers, eggplant.
I plead the fifth, but I think that no, I like genuinely though. I do think that you got to sample everything out there. I'm not about to play with you, dog. We'll talk off air. Right, but like I think you gotta sample different things to see what you like, because to the point of what we're trying to make,
you gotta go through a whole phase.
No. No comment. So what I think is, otherwise, you get yourself into a situation, like we said, you now have been in this relationship, this marriage for this long, and you realize y'all are growing like that. And if you had, tried out different, appetizers, if you will, hors d'oeuvres, if you're fancy,
right,
you may have known sooner in life, that's not it. This is it, and I think when you're 16, 17, no disrespect to anyone who has been with their high school sweetheart, you don't know what you want.
Right.
Ben, imagine, I don't know if you're not with your high school sweetheart, right?
Not at all.
Period.
Ooh.
Imagine you right now. And me, I'm imagining the person I was with when I was 17 and a senior in high school.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't cuss publicly, but ain't no way I could be with that person now. And you know what's ironic? No offense. He's with somebody that we went to high school with. But they didn't date in high school.
Gotcha.
They started dating in college. But even my college sweetheart, no offense, no disrespect, they probably would say the same about me. Actually, no, they wouldn't. But like, I can't imagine being with the dudes that I used to date when I was in my 20s, because I'm not her anymore. You know what I mean?
I feel like.
So
because you've grown, you've evolved, you went through different phases in your life.
Yes, exactly. So I
feel that, dog.
I don't believe in being with the same person for that long. But that's just me. But now I'm 33. I believe.
You're 33?
Yeah, period. It's giving. Don't dang me. You're a year younger than me. See,
no.
Somebody needs to get their friend.
What are you talking about? I'm not calling you old or nothing, because you're not old.
Then why did you say dang?
Well, because I was just playing into like the idea that I didn't know that you was 33.
Okay, period.
But I do know that you're 33. I just did that for the audience.
That's fair.
I know how old you are.
Yeah, you do.
Your birthday is August 8th.
On?
Yep.
Your birthday is June.
You don't.
6th.
Oh, hey,
am I right?
You're right, man. My B-Day coming up, bro.
And you know what?
I'll be 33 pretty soon.
That's my gut, because I genuinely ain't thought about your birthday since last year. No, but you know what I'm saying? That's it's inside me, Ben. It's inside me. I just know you.
All right.
No, but that being said, though, like now, and I'm curious if you agree. Actually, maybe I shouldn't ask you this.
Just ask me.
Okay. Right now, at 33, I do believe the person that I am with, I could be with that person for the rest of my life now, because I know myself so much better. And I know we're still going to continue to know. But I'm just older and wiser, and I've experienced more. I've dated.
You know what you want. You know what you don't want.
Yes, I've sampled, and I'm done sampling. You feel me? I'm good on the hors d'oeuvres. Like, I tried them. I tried them all. And you know what? I see what's out there, and I know it's a lot more out there. but I'm good on the sample platter. I don't need it anymore.
You tried the sausages.
You feel me? Bring me my, you know, my 5-star meal. Like now I'm trying to eat that Michelin
the
meal.
tomahawk steak.
I want that Michelin star tomahawk.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
You know, Applebee's, you were great when I was 19, but it's just not going to work anymore.
Yeah, the Long Islands was too sugary.
Dog, don't get me started on the Long Islands. Those will get you, okay?
Yeah, for real though.
That's crazy. But,
good point, yeah.
But do you agree with that though? Like now at this point in your life, you could, you know, whomever you're with or whomever you would meet, do you think now you're at an age where you could say, yep, this is my person and feel satisfied with that for the rest of your life?
You know, we had a conversation before we got on air. We had a conversation before we got on air. And one thing that I know about myself now is that forever is a mighty
I'm glad people think they can just keep calling us. Here, go ahead.
Forever is a mighty long
Y'all are so
time.
funny. It is a long time.
But if everything does work out with the person I am with, I think I could definitely be with that person forever.
Oh, that's sweet.
I can see that happening. But I know that forever is a mighty long time. And with that being said, you know, like you just said, you know, because the Benjamin you see today at the age of 32 isn't the Benjamin that I was at 22. You know, so I don't even know who the Benjamin is going to be at 42. You know, so like, sheesh, I'll be thinking about stuff like that. Like, how much am I going to change or
But
evolve,
is this someone you're willing to grow with?
Oh, yeah. I'm definitely willing to grow with that person.
Yeah.
But then again, you know, 40-year-old Ben, who he's going to be? Who 52-year-old Ben, who he's going to be? You know, what new ideas am I going to want to travel down? What new pathways am I going to want to travel down? What new ideas are going to pop in my mind? Because I'm an idea type of person. You know, a good idea will really get the gears grinding for me. You know, so I don't know, man. When it comes down to the idea of just the foreverness, it sounds good out of a fairy tale book, but because like honestly, you know, I talk me and my lady, we were talking one time, and she was like, "Did you think that we would make it to this long in our relationship?" And sure, on the PR standpoint, right? It's like, "Oh yeah, hell yeah." But I was being real. I'm like, nah. Because, like, nobody tells you once you get to, like, 10 years or 20 years with somebody, how that actually feels when you get to that point. You know what I'm saying? Nobody really knows unless you've done it before. You know, everybody's going to say, oh, we're going to be together forever. But don't nobody know what forever really feels like until you lost a loved one and realize that, like, dog, I'm not going to see this person forever. I'm going to have to think about this person forever, each and every day of my life. And
you're going to have to grow old with that person.
That too. You know, so forever.
So you're trying to be in their face for the next 50 years? Like, can you? Would you?
For forever, I'm going to have to one day, I see you pass away or you see me pass away. You know what I'm saying?
Like, we're going to have kids. We're going to have grandkids. We're going to travel. And is that the person you want to go on vacations with for the rest of your life? Yes, Ben.
Yeah.
Yes.
And these are all real conversations to have with whoever you decide to settle down with.
And not only that, Ben, but like having real conversations like financial responsibility and like, you know, you get deep in it. And I think too many people, they like almost get so like wrapped up in the idea of marriage and the idea of right now. They don't think about forever, to your point.
Right. Nah, man, because forever is a mighty long time. You know, and you ain't never, again, I don't think you'll really think about what forever really means until you lose something that you thought would never be gone. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, with that being said, go ahead and hug that married man if you want. You know what I'm saying? But is he just there, or are you just trying to be with that person for the night, or are you trying to be with that person forever?
That part.
You know?
Come on now.
Or you just trying to make a memory last forever. It's up to you.
Let us know what y'all think about it. There's a lot of different things y'all can let us know about, but really appreciate every single one of y'all. And before we go, Truth Nation, I need you to gear up for a great time as Sports Milwaukee hosts Milwaukee Tailgate Week. Is coming up so soon. And that's presented by our friends over at Potawatomi Sportsbook. Set for April 24th to the 26th, Milwaukee Tailgate Week features a variety of gridiron activations for all ages, steeped in Milwaukee's iconic sports history, attractions, brews, restaurants, and venues. As the 2025 NFL Draft takes center stage in Green Bay, Sports Milwaukee and the Cream City are excited to welcome the football world back to Wisconsin. For tickets for Tailgate Week, all you got to do is go to visitmilwaukee.org/tailgate and use promo code Visit, that's VISIT, for 50% off. Brought to you by Visit Milwaukee. Handcrafted, homegrown, world class. Shout out to our friends over at Visit Milwaukee. Ian Thompson gave me some gear last week. I'm going to wear it on the next show. Appreciate all of y'all tuning in live. We do these live shows here and there. Next show, it might be live. It might be pre-taped. Who knows? But I do agree with Eastside Corey. He said, hey, tell Kyle he's got to advertise your show more. Ben, you heard it from the listeners. I'm just saying, pum, pum, Kyle. Yeah, Kyle, shots fired at you.
Okay, so since we finna throw that out there.
Go ahead.
Because I wasn't going to read that comment. But what I will say is that it ain't even Kyle no more. You got to talk to Sean Don. You know,
that's true.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, Sean Thompson.
Yeah, Sean Don.
Yeah.
Speaking of Ian Thompson,
Yeah.
I'm talking about Sean Thompson.
Yeah. Sean, you got to promote her show more, man. What's cracking? What's happening?
I love it. No, we
Kyle Dreadhead ass ain't the
I was gonna
content director
say
no more. He a teammate.
Hey, Kyle, right? Kyle can't do nothing for us anymore.
No, for
Eastside.
real.
Hey, Kyle, one of us now.
I'm so serious. They damn near told that man he got to cut his dreads out.
I'm done. No, I'm done with that. That being said, appreciate you, Ben Jam and Truth
It's
Nation.
amazing.
Appreciate all of y'all. We have so much fun with you every single week that we get to do this. God is good. It's a blessing. I'm thankful to be here, and I can't wait to do it again next week. Y'all have a great rest of your day. We'll see you soon. Thank you so much again for tuning in to Nothing But the Truth with Melanie Ricks. Bye.